this is Tia and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another video reading Hermitcraft Freedom. We are on chapter 2. If you haven't read last week's episode, I suggest you do so because there are going to be minor spoilers. Not really. I mean, like if you go back last story, like there's going to be stuff to happen that Hermitcraft Genesis, and before then that might be relevant here. Yeah, we're going right into it. There are captions available if you are interested in listening along and reading along too. I have noticed people are watching this on the TV, which I find fascinating. Your choice. But yeah, enjoy. Chapter 2. Caitlin Kimberly stared at the bubbling potions sitting on the brewing stand. She couldn't take her eyes off them, as the dark purple liquid stirred into the glass bottles they were contained in. It was both mesmerizing and intense. She was so close to saving her mother and the two new arrivals that had been infected by her blood and amplified by Rhinestone's stupid experiments. She closed her eyes and sighed, trying to push away the triumphant expression on the woman's face when she'd ordered Kate's father to turn on the machine that would dispense the horrible gas that changed whoever made a contact. Whatever. Just like it had made her change. A dry lump formed in the girl's throat as she tried to blink away the image of the two villains, Wanda Rhinestone and Andrew Jargon, lying on the base of the podium after trying to escape the gas, their bodies ripped through with blue veins as they groaned, their skin growing pale white to green in several seconds before crumbling into dust. Dead. Seeing the eyes in their sockets start to bulge as the flesh dissolved off their bones, leaving nothing but what they had on hand behind. Yeah, this is not made for kids. Mom and the young boys would suffer the same fate if she didn't find a way to stop this. Is that batch nearly done? Clara's voice came from the main meeting area as she walked into the kitchen. Yeah, Kate sighed, rubbing her eyes irritably. You really should get some rest, Kate, the woman said gently as the footsteps grew near. Kate barely felt the woman's hand on her shoulder, so much like what her mother would do whenever she was stressed, worried, or nervous about something. I want to make sure they'll be okay, Kate admitted, looking down at the tiled floor at her feet. They will be, Clara insisted. Liam's best at creating new antidotes. I know, he tried to save Mom. He did save her, and he can do it again. Clara squeezed the girl's shoulder. He's so much like his mother. You've met her? Kate looked up at the woman, curiosity sparking inside her. Once, before I met Skiz, she said gently. Rose was giving me some defense tips when her sister-in-law stopped by. She was a wonderful woman. Kate nodded. Liam doesn't talk to her about her much. He doesn't remember her. Neither of the boys do. As that look flashed in her eyes. Very much too young. Like Julius. Kate tilted her head thoughtfully. In a way, Clara sighed, pulling her hand away. You've been going through a lot over the last week. Getting experimented on by by Rhinestone, getting attacked by the defectors, seeing your mother sick after nearly losing her once. I thought she was dead, Kate snapped, tears brimming her eyes. I thought they were both dead. Turns out she was hiding them from me. Dad was hiding her from me. I hate him. Sorry. Does this sort of thing happen a lot? Kate turned to the woman. Families hurting each other, whether or not they mean to? Do you think your dad meant to hurt you? Clara asked. Kate shook her head. I don't know. He seemed to expect me to thank him after everything he'd done for me. Being a parent can be hard. Clara went over to the brewing stand, taking the bottles out and placing them on the counter. There's not a guidebook to show us how we should love and nurture our kids so that they can do well, fulfill their dreams. Sometimes we hurt them more than we help. Like how Royster thought that Blake's dad was keeping Julius from him. Yeah, Clara nodded. Want to help me with these? I can't carry them all by myself. Sure. Kate went over and picked up a bottle. This should work, right? I hope so, Clara replied. I want them to get better as much as you do. Kate didn't meet her gaze, walking across the room, out the door, and toward the other bedroom, where the adult protectors would sleep. Lyra, Henry, and Charlie were stationed there, so that Clara could keep a close eye on them during their recovery. It didn't take long until she arrived at the bedroom, stopping at the doorway as she saw the 3 occupied beds. One of them was her mother, her face ghostly pale, dry like paper. Her lips were a bright tint of blue, with similar blue veins stretched up along her neck and down her arms. Henry and Charlie were much better. Come on, it doesn't hurt to try, Clara urged from behind her. It might kill them, Kate said weakly. We've taken every precaution we can. They need medicine, Clara pressed. Kate relaxed her tense shoulders and walked inside. What if it doesn't work? Then we keep trying, Clara said simply, placing one of the bottles on the table before approaching one of the boys, Henry. Kate watched as the woman knelt beside the bed, gently lifting the 12-year-old's limp head, allowing the purple liquid to trickle in. Several agonizing moments passed until Clara served the last drop. Henry groaned as she rose to her feet, placing a hand on his forehead. More, but no fever. Is that a good sign? Kate squeaked, her eyes glancing toward her mother. Excuse me. It can be. Kate swallowed, forcing her legs to move as she went to her mother's bedside. She leaned over her, uncapping the potion with one hand, and she carefully brought the bottle to her lips. Come on, Mama. Please don't leave me. Gently, she lifted the bottle as the woman's lips parted. The purple liquid trickled in like a calming spring as Kate kept her eyes on her mother's face. Why was the effect so slow on her and the boys when it had killed dozens of people, including Rhinestone and Mr. A, almost instantly? Kate? Clara's voice interrupted her thoughts. The girl looked up at the woman, frowning. She's finished with Charlie now, holding 2 empty bottles in one hand. You look worried. I'm fine, Kate said quickly. I'm fine. You know you can tell me, the woman said gently. I do. Kate looked back down at her mother as she straightened. The dust just has different effects on different people, I guess. Might be something you bring up to Liam. Yeah, Kate nodded. But he's already got a lot on his plate, making sure Green's safe with all the defectors out there. Never hurts to talk about it, Clara said simply. Knowing how fast the lapis dust takes effect is important. I watched someone disintegrate right in front of me after he was put in that machine. Kate shuddered. Most people don't survive the night. Some last a few hours, minutes, before they crumble into dust. Your mother and those boys were lucky that we got to them when we did, Clara said gently. Yeah, I'm not interrupting anything important, am I? Another voice asked by the doorway. Kate swung her head toward the sound, her eyes growing wide. Green, you're awake already? She gasped. Green managed a weak smile. Nightmares. You know where Liam is by any chance? He's catching up with Brian in the meeting room, Clara said matter-of-factly before turning to Kate. Would you go with him, Kate? I'll be fine here. You sure? Kate bit her bottom lip. It's not that far, Green pointed out. Literally just across the hall. With a clear view of the entrance to the secret tunnels, Clara said firmly. Green shook his head, resting a hand on the door. I think you'd notice if someone tried to grab me. Kate giggled before looking back toward the older woman. You'll call if you need me? Of course, Clara nodded. I've got plenty of people here who can give me a hand. You're allowed to have a little fun and peek in. Kate looked back down at her mother before letting out a sigh. I'll be back later. Give yourself at least an hour. Clara cautioned. Please. Kate smiled. I can do that. Let's go then, before the Jameses decide to go on an adventure without us. Graham smirked. His dark gray eyes. Excuse me, they're not gray. Well, if you know, you know. His dark eyes gleaming with a hint of mischief. I mean, not sure how holes and nothingness gleam, but alright. Kate crossed the room at a brisk jog, not job. How I would wait. Thank you. A brisk jog before meeting the hermit at the door. Grant closed the door behind her before heading down the hall. She followed. So when did your mother and the kids show up? Green asked after a moment's pause. Day after you guys were taken, Kate said softly. Brian and Joel came from the school wanting to check on us. I tried to use the link to find you guys when Mom showed up with 2 other kids. Apparently they escaped a maze and made it here. Ah, Green nodded. Brian's a friend of Liam's, right? Sam and Liam's best friend? Kate confirmed. The school was taken by the defectors, and the kids went to Rhinestone to be tested. Stacy and Lizzie are fine. And Tony? Green pressed. Safe, Kate replied. Green sighed in relief. How have you been feeling? The usual. Green stopped by the entranceway to the meeting hall. Behind him, Kate could see the wall that opened up to the secret tunnels below. Kate shuddered. Men had come from everywhere. Front door, back door, and the secret tunnels. She'd even tried to get beat up and scar towards the tunnel before they were stopped. It's not easy knowing that your next turn could lead to trouble. I got you back, Kate said defiantly. Green smiled before slipping into the meeting room. Just as the opening in the wall came to life, Kate blinked when several figures slipped into the hallway. Isaac, Skiz, Sean, and Kate. Skiz gave her a friendly smile as the 2 older protectors spoke in quiet whispers. Everything up to speed here? Skiz went over to her. Yeah, Mom and the kids are doing better, Kate replied. I've been working on this badge all night. At least that's some good news, Skiz said. The protectors are trying to figure out how the guys got in here to begin with. Probably the same as last time, Kate pointed out. I know, but how are we going to stop them from just waltzing in whenever they feel like it? Kate shrugged. Traps? That's one way to do it, Isaac agreed. Kate jumped, seeing the young man next to them. They found a way around lava traps already, by just digging up and dumping water everywhere. Then we need something else, something not so redstone reliant, Kate sighed. Tango does have his mop farm that he uses as extra defense, Skiz replied. Have some bubble columns spread around and launch them up when needed. Could be dangerous if one of our own are trying to escape, Isaac warned. It's hard to set something up without needing to do it manually. We'll figure it out, Skiz said confidently. Maybe Pearl and Jem have some good ideas. Or Green, if he's up for it. Up for what? Green's curious voice filled the room. Kate turned to see the hermit and Liam heading in their direction. Creating ways to slow the jerks down so we have enough warning, Skiz said with confidence. Whatever. We could always set up a parkour course, Green offered. And only if you will know the right way. We'll still stop them from digging around or building over, Skiz frowned. You guys play dirty. Then we play dirty. Green clapped his hands together. We need to up our game and figure this out. Everyone here is at risk. YouTubers, hybrids, and humans. We need to group together and solve this problem before it gets worse. The protectors haven't been in the meeting hall in a while, Isaac pointed out. It's been too risky to bring you guys along or keep you here. We'll figure that out, Liam replied. But I suggest you talk to Matthias about any plans to get a hermit meeting together first. Just to make sure you have all the protection you might need. Yes, several fortified bases, Green said simply. All very redstone-heavy, Liam warned. Green sighed. We knew how to stop them from using the null. We do have their gadgets, Kate said happily. Joel said that the null was in one of their communicators. So all we need to do is take it apart and learn how it works, and we'll know how to stop it. Skiz's eyes gleamed. That's an idea. Just be careful. Liam shook his head. The defectors could still be at large, especially if what Brian said was right. What did Brian say? Kate blinked. He believes that the head of the defectors is a guy named Carniver. And Rob works for him now, Liam scowled. And no, I don't recognize that name. So we just have Sharp to worry. No, so we don't just have Sharp to worry about breaking RJ and Dad out of prison, Kate stated. We don't know if that's what he wants to do. Right, Kate sighed. What do you know about Rob? He was one of the backup crew helping one of Green's former escorts, Liam stated, glancing over at the hermit. Green lowered its head with a grimace. He was tasked by Mr. A and RJ to capture Green, Tango, and Impulse and bring them to the portal. He took Impulse as a decoy to make the hermits and protectors believe that Green wasn't a target, while RJ had Tango and Green interrogated. Green let out a long, heavy sigh. Kate looked over at him sympathetically. That'd be awful. Fortunately, Impulse was able to get help. Blake and Tyler were already following RJ and ambushed him with the help of Green's fence, rescuing the other two. RJ was captured then. Rob disappeared completely. It's possible he was sent on a different mission and had no reason to reconnect with his failed assignment, Isaac said quickly. Truth is, we don't know. But he's back and he's still after Stampy, Green said bitterly. Well, he won't find him, Liam said, putting a hand on the hermit's shoulder. He's safe, in a place only my aunt knows about. That's what you think? Gerald gloated. Kate shoved the thought angrily out of her mind. Yet a trickle of smugness filled her. Gerald was pleased to know more than Liam or Sam did, which wasn't improbable since he was in her head. She shivered at the thought. Was anyone truly safe? It only takes a minute, Green said, breaking through her spiraling thoughts. I know, Liam said calmly. We're doing everything we can, believe me. Green nodded, looking over at Kate, Isaac, and Skiz. So, where are the girls? They stopped by our falls, Skiz said quickly. Matthias is with them. Some sort of hiccup happened there, I think? Is everyone okay? Kate asked. Liam shrugged. Can't be that serious if Matthias let the girls come with him. You know he wouldn't put them in danger if he could avoid it. Of course, Kate relented, glancing back over her shoulder. The bedroom doors were both closed. No one was standing guard outside of them. And again, she was pretty sure there didn't need to be as Julius was there. So, what's next on the agenda? Nothing, unless you're up for some practice, Liam said with a shrug. I'm always up for some practice, Kate grinned, standing up taller. Upstairs we go, then, Liam said quickly, turning as he headed toward the elevator. The others followed without question. Kate walked beside Gran, their focus straight ahead. Combat training was always a good distraction off of everything. The danger of defectors, scattered allies, Mr. A and RJ, her mother's sickness, her father's betrayal. Clara was right. Clara was right. Kate needed a break. Just to be a kid for a while. Mom would be okay. The hermits were safe. That is what mattered right now. Sweet sound of a false sense of security. A chuckle filled her mind, sending a shiver down her spine. She couldn't let her guard down, no matter what. Gerald had an army as well. He had no problem causing her and her friends pain, even from beyond the grave. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed that chapter. I will see you again next week with chapter 3. And yeah, of course, like these patterns, like there was originally a first video, but I accidentally deleted it. So you're seeing like an updated pattern. Honestly, it's not that big a deal. I just keep going. Just, yeah. No problem. That's not a problem for me. I just keep going. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Whatever that might be. Goodbye.